Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm a bit late this month due to many things going on in my life, but nonetheless, here's to my October fanfiction reads wrap up. To start off, this first fanfiction I'm working on is titled Masks and Mirrors, a 76-chaptered fic authored by Jenny Nocturna Black. But first, I have to point out it's not written in English. It's in German, on the website fanfiction.de. I actually saw the AI pictures on the author's IG account and got so intrigued by the fanfiction. It's basically a time travel fanfiction with a love triangle thing between Draco, Hermione, and Regulus Black. That pairing itself just sold me. So, as I said, it's originally German. So to make the record straight, I cannot read German. I use the Google Translate feature on my browser to transform the whole writing to English, and the translation were all near perfect, in the sense that nothing made no sense, all understandable. So, to begin with the actual review, my first honest impression of this fic was how long-winded the writing is, taking so long to get to the actual plot. But really, in the end, I felt it was really worth all the wait, all the needed base stories. So that's the first AI-generated pic I did for this fic. I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple of surprising betrayals that had me gasping in shock. Spoiler, Astoria Greengrass. I didn't expect she had been liaising with Hermione as a spy for the Order. Blame my dislike jealousy to the girl. But what I did suspected was her relationship with Pansy Parkinson. Yeah, ever since Pansy reacted peculiarly to something about Astoria in a conversation. With regards to the whole part of Dramione staying with the Resistance members, that whole concept really reminded me of another Dramione fanfiction, Exit. The setup was somehow similar. Not sure if the author was inspired by that fic. But oh yeah, I love the slow burn between Draco and Hermione, how he easily gets jealous, and how Theo had always noticed his fascination with Hermione since Hogwarts. Then finally came the big twist, the accidental time travel. I absolutely love the characterization of Regulus Black in this fic. Mysterious, quiet, and yet very black. I love the fact that both Draco and Regulus accepted the fact that they're both in love with the same girl, Hermione. The big thing was that they were eventually okay with that, since that would mean more protection for Hermione. The trio's relationship is almost an exclusive open relationship with each other, unmarried but committed, meaning Hermione's basically having polygamy with the two men. So I could only imagine what the society at large calls her in secret, having a child with each of the two men out of wedlock. Luckily, the author didn't touch on that whole component. By the way, I missed out filming the part where I fixed the title with Posca markers. And oh, Brad Goyle. Why do I always pity that big bloke? So insignificant and ignored all the time. Anyway, away from the characters, I love how the wizarding world has been expanded in a way that many things are explained in a very logical manner. Also, I thought all the complicated emotions and reactions of every character were handled really well. By the way, I would indicate the index number of the fanfiction that's in accordance with my reading log. I'm gonna rate this fic 4 stars. Then again, I felt the ending was a bit abrupt. I mean, what will happen to Regulus? Can he actually survive living forever in that future that is not his timeline? Nonetheless, I really feel this fic was worth my excitement and wait. A really good read. Moving on, the second fic I'm working on is titled Perfectly in Pieces, written by C.D. Lin. It's 63 chapters long, taking me a whole week to finish. But yeah, I just wanted to tick it off my TBR list. It's seriously a very long fic, each chapter lengthy. But this fic has a rather gripping start. First impression was it being quite inspired by Manacled and Cruel and Beautiful World, what with Hermione being a pet slave to a Death Eater. Anyway, I have to start off saying I really thought some sort of magical soulmate trope would be thrown into the plot at some point. I mean, there were many instances that led me thinking it could have been, but spoiler, no such thing happened. Well, this fic is probably the best Theonaught characterization I've ever read. I adore his relationship with Hermione. Such a good friend, funny and adorable. AI generated pics for this fic. How I loved fics where Draco has been harboring feelings for Hermione since Hogwarts, and that too since first year. Adorable how Hermione already familiarized herself with the Malfoys through wizarding newspaper and magazines prior to joining Hogwarts. Pretty logical, I think. Seriously love the pacing between Hermione. I love how they really needed each other in all its meanings and manifestations. Must have been hard for Draco, fearing he would lose her after the final episode with the monstrous Antonin Dolohov. Luckily, smart healer Not was able to finally find a cure for her. And for Dramioni's sake, I really wish they'd one day have their own child. Despite, adopting that orphan girl Leah, sad seeing how their other friends are popping out their own babies. And really, I seldom come across Dramione fanfictions, probably because I never search for them. What I meant was at least in Dramione fics. But the two ended up lovely together in this. Ginny's obsession with Harry's dead body felt real and mentally unhealthy. I felt for her when she was resolute that the same thing won't happen to her and Theo. She definitely would not be able to cope with the same trauma for the second time. I will also give this fic 4 stars. There's one point rather. I'm still actually confused how Theo and Hermione helped Draco from being abused by that old Carol sister. I mean, how exactly did it help him? And how were those executed when Draco is still physically with the Carol woman? Anyway, Kingsley, always made into a dick in fanfictions. I can't remember. Was he such a jerk in the books too? I've read way too many fanfictions that I began to believe his character was originally just as shitty. And Ron Weasley. Gosh, canonly, I love Ron. I really love him. But every time I read him in Dramione fics, I can't help but be dissuaded into hating him. Like gosh, it's exhausting. Really wish Hermione could have slapped him at one point. I was honestly expecting one. But oh well, one can only wish. As for Narcissa Malfoy, what exactly happened to her? How did she die? Nothing much was divulged about her. Well, anyways, writing-wise, I really wish the author had placed some sort of dividers when it jumped scenes. Many a times I was left confused with the sudden turn of events, only to realize it moved to a different scene. So honestly, upon finishing the story, I almost feel debilitated. In a complimentary way to the author, of course. Really, it's quite an epic fic. You really felt like you lived through all the chaos of the characters. I would put this fic in the category of major Dramione fanfictions for highly recommended to all Dramione fans. Despite the author claiming that yes, the fic was indeed inspired by a couple of other major fics, I think it really held its own. Moving on, for the other fics that I do not give 2-page reviews, I review them like this. Yeah, I love reading my fanfiction reads, something that a section of the fanfiction community is opposed to. But I don't give AF. Rating them is having a record of my reads, and that's the purpose of this fanfiction journal. By the way, I would tape random spines of the book, mainly to protect it from falling apart from the eventual bulk later. This I learned from years of journaling. Yes, more AI-generated pictures, another trigger to those gatekeepers. I love making these pictures. Make them through various AI image generators online, with a bit of Photoshop help for some. Those are some bleedings from the first review spread I did earlier. Covered the rest with white Posca. By the way, that second fic there, Soulful, written by Z's Works. That's my monthly Dramione recommendation fic for you. Quite a wonderful one-shot, IMO. Of course, Harry Potter isn't the only fanfiction I read. Other fandoms too, be it Italian, Korean. Oh yeah, those green dots are for the index numbers. So this is my reading log. I'll color the fics that I reviewed earlier, just in random greens of my palette. That's my favorite quote of the month, from the fic titled Gerard Abreu's Guide to Falling in Love by Rattleback. Thought it was so funny of Ginny shouting that at Madam Pins. Anyway, I'll be using this unpeeled photo sticker and this washi tape. To make like a flat window, just for a simple interactivity. I'll be using pie charts for my monthly statistics. Be using this app called Trace Table. Basically, using my phone as a light box and trace up the lines. Start coloring the segments. Lastly, I'll darken up the lines of the segments. And I think it's time for a flip through. Really way too little DNFs, which is a good thing, I guess. Another 3 full pages of fanfictions read. By the way, yes, I've limited myself to only two two-page review spreads a month, which also means I only read at most 2 novel-length fics per month. And I guess that's it for this month's reads. Thank you all for watching up till here. Till then, happy reading and bye!